Hey guys, so many of you have been asking on various videos about upgrades I've done to the bike, how they're holding up, what's my opinion about them. So I thought to make an all-in-one video for all the upgrades I've done, like long-term, how they're holding up and if I'm happy or not, you know, all that stuff. So I checked out the bike. I came up with 16 upgrades I've done, so I'm gonna cover those. I'm gonna start with the fun stuff and work my way down to the more boring stuff. And at number one, it's the LED lights. I'm super happy with these LED lights. It gets rid of that yellowish, boring color. It gives it this nice bluish color, whitish, whatever you want to call it. They've been bulletproof, except I have one complaint about the parking bulbs. You can see there's one in here. And there's one in here on the Hayabusa. That's a high beam, by the way. So this is the parking bulb that I used, LED of course. So this one here, I noticed one day that this glass piece, it was just like down in here. And I checked it out, you can't see it from the camera, now it's worked its way back in there. No real issue, but yeah, this plastic housing glass thing came off. This side it didn't. It's not like both sides came off. If both sides came off, then I'll be like, yeah, it's total garbage. But sometimes, you know, shit happens. Okay, moving to number two. It's the windscreen here. I'm really satisfied with this windscreen. And with that being said, I would like to give a shout out to Bailey9R. He says, wow, dude, I was hoping you would give us your impression of how it feels riding now. And he's right. I should have made a video of riding, how it feels. I didn't, but I'm gonna give you guys some input now. I really like the way it looks and that feeling it gives you, because the factory one, it's like this here. This one adds this big curve to it. You can lean down with your helmet further and get protection from the air. And it gives a bike that macho, you know, like super bike feel.
Oh man, look at the vein, look at the vein. Oh, look at the chest, look at the traps.
At night, it might be a little bit dark. So if there's lights, you can see no problem. So I'm really happy with this purchase. I feel like I should have done it before. I like how it says 1300R Buick, however you pronounce it. This is good stuff. This is a good quality windscreen. However, I want to note, if you cover the bike like I do, I cover it at work, there is some scuffing going on here. I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but there is some scuffing. But the factory one had that issue too as well. I might just put like a shirt here before I put the cover on so it doesn't scuff on it. At number three, it's the Power Commander 5. Shout out to Dino. He was asking what was my opinion about the Power Commander, if I was satisfied with it. The answer, yes, I am satisfied with it. I'm glad I did it. And I'm especially glad I got the Power Commander 5, because what happened was they started discontinuing it to come out with the Power Commander 6. And this bad boy here was half price. But not only that, Power Commander 5, you have more tuning ability. You can tune up to 250% or minus 100%. So from what I understand is 2.5 times more the fuel that you would give at a certain RPM and a certain load and all that stuff. And with that being said, I want to point out the new one that came out, the Power Commander 6. That one only has a plus minus tuning ability of 15%. And I did a little research on the Power Commander 6. And they're saying that tuning places are able to go beyond the 15% that allows you. So that's really for people like me that we just plug and play with it. You only limit it to 15% on the Power Commander 6. And another good thing with the Power Commander is that you can expand. So you can use an auto tuner and a quick shifter. And speaking of quick shifter, I think I'm gonna put one in pretty soon. And of course, not to mention, it makes the bike run better, smoother, and it gives it more power. Of course, that's what everybody's looking at the end of the day. So Power Commander, it's a yes. But you can also do it with the factory ECU only. There are some guys out there, they're badass, like more Mafia. So they got that stuff down. Number 4, the frame sliders. These are from T-Rex Racing. They have the Hayabusa logo engraved. They do make them with different colors in here. I couldn't find anything better than these. These are the best ones that I could find for the bike. As you can see, it's a no-cut frame slider. You don't have to cut the fairings, because other ones, like you cut them, I think somewhere around here. You cut the fairing and that's where it goes. Not with this setup. This one is a no-cut, and that makes it really convenient and it gives it a really clean look. However, there's one thing sometimes I'm not happy about. There's a rod that connects this side with the other side to support it, and that would be this guy right here, where my screwdriver is. This piece of metal right here. And what happened with that is, like, a few times when I would take off the fairing to change the oil or whatever, that thing would loosen up and touch on the exhaust headers. Not a super big deal, but it could make a vibration noise, like a rattling noise. It didn't make one for me, but I'm just saying it is possible. So I actually lost one bolt, came off. I lost, I don't know, never seen it again. So I put another bolt, Loctited it, made it pretty tight. So far, it's been 1 year since I did that and it's still holding up. But yes, overall, I'm really happy with this setup. I couldn't find a better one than that. At number 5 is the levers. The clutch lever and the brake lever. So these guys overall, I am happy as well. I just like how you get rid of that massive lever that sticks out to here. However, that massive lever, it is good when you drop the bike. It kind of protects a little bit. But it's really, to me at least, it's really uncomfortable to have that huge thing and have to grab it with all your fingers to use it. This one you can just go like 3 fingers, you know, 2 fingers. So basically you give it how many fingers you want. However, I want to point out that when I installed this one, I would pull in the clutch and this thing, the adjustment, it would move. Like I would have it on 3, and then after a few times of pulling the clutch, it would go to 2 and then to 1 all by itself, like just from pulling on it, the pressure. So what I had to do is only just tighten this bolt here with a nut underneath, and that took care of it. It's been 2 years, I believe, and that's been good. So that's something to keep in mind, especially with the brake. You know, that would be scary if you hit the brake and that thing, the adjustment moves on you at that moment. So at number 6 is the bike being lowered. I added this spacer here. So what that does is it raises the handlebars up higher, and at the same time it gives you this space to move up the forks in the front, and in return that lowers the front of the bike. That made a more comfortable riding because you're in a more upright position. You're not like fully leaned forward like a R6 would be, or any fighter jet sport bike. So super happy with that part. In the back, I'm not super happy with the lowering links. Right here, you can see it says Hayabusa. So at first it really seemed like it's really cool because you can adjust it and make it like really exactly where you want it. However, it's a little bit annoying maybe, because you gotta adjust this side plus the other one on the other side and make them as even as you can. But that's not the real issue. So I'm gonna pull up the bike, but I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but there is some play. So if you look in here, you can see the play over here on this arm. I noticed that one day when I had the jack here with the front like barely lifted off the ground and the stand in the back. So somehow I came across that and I noticed it. So with those, I'm not super happy. What I'm gonna do is probably end up getting one of those solid lowering links. Those are bulletproof and you can't go wrong with those. I'm gonna get a good quality and throw them in there. Number 7 is the kickstand, and it is a must if you lower the bike, because when you lower the bike and have the factory kickstand, the bike sits upright more, so there's a danger of it tipping over to the other side. So this is a must if you lower it, and I'm very happy with this kickstand. Not only does it look a lot better than the factory one, it's also lighter because this is aluminum. And there are a few adjustments you can do. Of course, the shortest adjustment would be this part being in all the way. If I remember correctly, I have this in 1 or 2 clicks. So yes, super happy with the kickstand. The only thing when I got it, not a big deal. This bolt back here was a little bit loose. So this was kind of floppy. I just tightened it and that was it. Number 8 would be these covers for the reservoirs. I just like how it says Hayabusa, and it's kind of like, I don't know, how should I say, like 3D. So these I'm happy with. It's been a year so far. No leaks, no nothing. They just look good and they do their job. I put them on when I had to replace the fluid in the reservoirs, which is something you should do every 2 years. That's what the manual says as a service. So pretty straightforward here. Good stuff. And a small not breaking the bank upgrade. Really nice. Slip-ons. Overall, I'm pretty happy with these. At first they seem like really cheap quality, not promising. Like here, this weld, it didn't seem that good. I thought like within a week or 2, like these would snap off or something, but it's been 2 years so far and they're holding up really good. I was also picturing it melting here or getting distorted from heat, but it's been taking it. And like I said, it's been 2 years. The welds look really nice. I'm not saying this is the best exhaust system, but for like 200 bucks, whatever I got it for, it was a good buy. The only thing here is where it connects to the other part of the exhaust. When the bike is warming up and there's condensation, it might drip some water. But that's an easy fix as well. You can use some exhaust glue, high temperature glue, when you put it on, and that'll take care of that. But I'm not gonna go crazy because eventually I'm gonna change these, get something better. And the other thing is, they're not like, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, like that one is a little bit turned. This one is more straight. So that's something I'm not too thrilled about, but for 200 bucks, it was a good choice. Plus I got rid of all that huge mass the bike had on the sides. And I could tell a difference in weight by picking up the bike from the kickstand. You can feel the weight reduction right away compared to the factory slip-ons or mufflers. And one other thing is, with the factory kickstand here, it would hit, so I had to smash this pipe in a little bit to clear it. With this one, I'm good. I don't have that issue. Next off is the tail light. Overall, I'm happy with this tail light, but I'm picky. It's hard to see from the camera, but like even if you touch it, and if you notice it like in person, it's not like perfectly smooth. The lens, it's like a little bit like, I don't know how to say, like orange peel. It's really slight, like you have to notice it. I'm just picky. So that's the only thing I don't like, but other than that, I love how it looks. The other one, of course, the stock one is red, but with the bike being red and the tail light red, it didn't really do it for me. It's like it didn't make that contrast, that difference, you know? It was an option if you wanted to wire this for the blinker and this for the other side, but that's not something I wanted to do. I just like these blinkers. I thought it would be weird to have this one as well. So overall happy with that. Next, Fender Plate eliminator. From the factory, it had that pretty big plastic thingy for the license plate, kind of ugly. It does do a good job protected from water splashing and stuff, of course, but it looks really ugly, you know? So I got this guy here. So far really good. It's been 3 years. I think the first upgrade I did to the bike It has LED lights over here, so that makes the bike pretty nice and visible at night. Next, it's these gauge faces. I got this one that says Hayabusa and it has a logo on it. I do like it. It's inspiring, like when you rev the bike and you see the Hayabusa logo in the background, like tacking up, and you see that in the background, man. Ooh. Of course, it came as a set, but I only changed that side because I like that one, how it shows kilometers as well. I don't know, just like how it looks busy over there. So I could have used this one, but I didn't want to. It looks kind of simple. And something else I didn't like about this is you can see it's kind of textured, whereas the factory one is smooth. Again, I don't know how well you can see this from the camera, but there is some texture on these aftermarket ones. Also, this one, it looks like maybe it's not perfectly straight, like it's bowing a little bit, whereas this one, the stock one, is like flatbread, you know. Also, it was kind of scary when I removed the needle to replace it, but I'm happy with that as well. And with the factory one, I feel like they did a better job with distributing the light compared to this one. I don't remember exactly where the lights are, but probably they're here, 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 and here. So on this one, being that you don't have this kind of pattern stuff to distribute the light, if you have a light here, you know, like down here, it might be a little bit dark. I haven't really noticed anything. The only thing, like on this spot here, you can see how it's a little bit too bright. Like there's too much light, but no big deal. Next on the list is the phone mount. This was the cheapest one I could find. I don't use it often, but when I do, it's pretty handy. It's not the best one, and if you get one that you use it or you think you're gonna use it every day, I suggest you get a good one like a RAM mount. So with this one, it kind of falls apart when you unbolt it here. That's why I added these O-rings, and it's been doing really good ever since. It holds it together when you loosen it or when you try to put it on here. Of course, you can put it like this way or this way, you know, tilt it how you want it. And then you just put your phone in here. So with this, a few times it did get loose from here, and like the phone will start going like this as I'm riding. I don't want to like really crank up the tightness of it, because of course you are risking cracking the plastic. If you just give it a good snug, like pretty tight, it has been good. I can't complain, especially for the price. Like I said, this was the cheapest one I could get. Okay, next off, the swing arm spools. Overall happy with these. If you do get them, make sure you put some Loctite, because one time I came home and I found this one just kind of like freewheeling. It would go like this and it would spin, so the screw had loosened. Thankfully I caught it and I didn't lose it, and more importantly, thank God it didn't like fly off to somebody's windshield or something and do damage to somebody else. Something I'm not happy about is like when you use the stand, it scratches it. I've used a tiny bit of grease, just a tiny amount, but it's just the nature of the beast. You could have used a rag or maybe wrap a plastic bag, a small one, or a Ziploc if you don't want to scratch it, but I'm not gonna go too crazy with this because you can't really see it. You gotta like notice it, and no big deal. I can always change them. And the stand of course goes hand in hand with those. Super happy with this one. It has a removable handle, so you just put it there. This way when you walk by, you don't kick it and trip and drop the bike and all that fun stuff, you know. And it's really sturdy, especially for the Hayabusa. That's important because it's a heavy bike. So look at this. I mean, I'm giving the bike a good shake. It doesn't want to move. It's like solid. Next is the tank pad and the fuel cap cover, whatever you want to call it. Pretty good stuff. This is a must in my opinion, because otherwise you scuff the tank. Here on the side you can see where it doesn't have the sticker. I don't know how well you can see. It's a little bit scuffed here, the paint job, but nothing major. Over here it would be a lot worse because the jacket is always rubbing here. So this is a must to protect the tank. There is some discoloration going on. You know, it's not perfect, but when the time comes, we can always put another one on it. And lastly, it's the bolts. You can see some gold bolts on the bike here and there. I do like how they look, especially the red with the gold. That makes a nice difference. However, like, which one was it? I think it was this one or this one, I forget now. You can see the factory bolt, how it has like this, I don't know how you want to call it, but it has a spacer thingy to kind of keep the plastic floating here and stuff. So the kit with the bolts, it does have something to kind of replicate that. It has like these thick washers. They do okay, but it's nothing like this. This is like perfect. Other than that, like this one, that's perfect for that. These also, these came out good. And they also got these valve stem caps. They used to be gold. Besides being dirty now, they're discolored. So this used to be the same color as that bolt, and you can see the difference now. But again, I don't like how it got discolored, and I want to go with something different now. So I got these OEM Suzuki ones to put on, and these are made in USA. Genuine Suzuki parts. You can't beat the quality of this. This is like the best. Alright, broskis, and there you have it. 16 upgrades I did to the Hayabusa. There's gonna be many more to come, of course. I'm not gonna stop here. Like I said before, if you have any questions still, leave a comment and I will answer you. A shout out to my father. He got me these Dainese boots. Really nice boots, kind of pricey, but you can't beat the quality of Dainese. Dainese is the best. To me, it's the best for motorcycle gear. You know, you just can't beat it. I have this jacket, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. I mean, there is parts where it shows age, but not too good because I can't find them right now. And also Alpine Star, that's another really good brand as well. So next video, like I said, I'm not gonna stop with the upgrades. I got this gel seat. It says Hayabusa here, has a like a carbon look to it. So I'm gonna be replacing that. Of course, it's not something really hard to do, but I just want to show you guys how nice it's gonna look, and if the weather permits, I'm gonna go for a ride to see how my hiney feels, you know. So with that being said, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Sorry about the mess here, and I know I didn't upload for a while. For those of you who have been watching the channel, I mentioned I'm gonna restore my truck. I did. I only have some minor stuff to do, and the truck is gonna be completely done. I would show you how it came out, but it's kind of dark outside. And lastly, before I go, I feel like I didn't cover much about the Power Commander 5 and the 6. So for like bolt-on stuff, you know, exhaust, filter, that kind of stuff, the 15% that the Power Commander 6 gives you, that's pretty close, that's pretty enough to what you need. If you want to go more than that, there's not really a need to. Like on the 5, there's some adjustments I've seen like in the 20s. Once again, if you get the 6, that's close enough with bolt-on stuff. If you go crazy with turbos and all that camshafts, then you're gonna have to get it tuned anyways. So yes, the Power Commander 5, in my opinion, is better than the 6 because it has more options right off the bat. You don't have to go to a tuner if you want to make some adjustment or whatever, or if you put in an auto tuner. But again, with Power Commander 6, that should be good enough if you just do exhaust, headers, and a filter. Alrighty, I'll see you in the next one.